Nancy Lenard, the author of the up-and-coming book called Kiss of Madagascar. I am here today to do a short summary of the very first blog called Journey 1. For all of you that are busy in your life and just don't have enough time to read the 800 words of this blog. But I want to keep you all up to date. So I'm going to do these really short, 3 to 4 minute videos to keep everyone on track as this journey progresses. So in the last video I told you about the dream and about this woman that I was very captivated by, that had long blonde hair and bright blue eyes and the 2 children and the creatures and all of those things. So be sure to listen to that video too if you haven't heard that. So after the dream I was very intrigued and I started discussing women in our history that have used charisma in a positive way and a negative way. And I decided one evening to go ahead and just put it in Google search, the evil women in history. And what came up was there was a book actually called The Most Evil Women in History by Shelley Klein. And I decided to go to Borders and, and buy the book to just kind of read up on some of these stories. Well, when I went to Borders, they had, no record of this book. And I got out my BlackBerry and showed her, and she, agreed that it existed, but it just didn't exist in Borders inventory. So when things like this happen to me, a lot of times I think that the roadblocks are signs that I shouldn't pursue things. But I also really wanted a green tea latte, which happened to be right by a Barnes & Noble. So I went over to Barnes & Noble and after I got my latte and asked the sales clerk if she had heard of this book. And she smiled and said yes, and she took me right over to the sales aisle and she handed me this book, The Most Evil Women in History by Shelley Klein, on sale for $5.99. So I went home, book in hand, latte in hand, and started reading some of the stories. And, some pretty horrific things, had taken place. And normally when I read things of hope, inspiration, people's, maybe their life stories, but things that I can learn from. So this was not something that I would normally want to read about or really having anything to do with. So I was really beginning to wonder why I had such a fascination with this whole topic. And I decided that I was going to continue to pursue it because I really thought that maybe there was a story in this. Maybe there was something that needed to be told, and that was why I was given that dream. So, book, I kept reading despite the stories, and the woman in my dream continued to, really speak to me per se, in the sense that she wanted me to find out more. She wanted her story to be told. And so I continued on. So until next time, till Journey 2, love and light. Thanks.